Welcome to your reset with Christian Piano, where the purpose is to support you in releasing all that you are not, so the truth of who you really are can emerge. This is accomplished through working with the body-mind from an ontological perspective. We use various modalities to support you in supporting yourself exactly where you are, so that you may return to an experience of wholeness and ease, moment by moment. Deep reflection is one of the greatest tools through which to do this. To take a moment, to pause, assess, reflect, and literally and figuratively reset, come back to center, and move back into your one and precious life with increased clarity and purpose. Hello, this is Christian Piano, and this week's episode is a reflection on home. The word home comes from the Proto-Germanic kaim, which differed from the meaning of house in those times as it does today. The kaim, or ham, as it traveled into Old English, meant a residence, as opposed to simply a shelter. When you think of home, what do you think of? What are the thoughts, feelings, emotions, physical sensations that you experience? Take a moment, perhaps, to close your eyes and say the word home quietly inside yourself. Notice what arises. Take note, as you will refer to this time and time again through your own growth process. When it comes to body-mind well-being, your body is your home, and your relationship to your body greatly influences your experience of your home within. When you think of your body as a home, what arises for you? Your relationship to your body impacts your experience of your body as home. An abundance of healing, discovery, and growth comes from residing in the body, coming from the body, your body. An ongoing invitation to invite a shift to your body as home supports unending growth, discovery, and unlimited potential in your very own self-development. A part of this process takes place in the domain of the mind, rational understanding. The second phase, if you will, is navigating in the domain of the irrational, the experiential. If you have not yet listened to the episode Pasta al Pomodoro, you may want to do so after listening to this episode. It will support you in unearthing embodied learning and give you some elements to play with as you explore your very own relationship to your body-mind, your relationship to the space of life you are. How often do you gift yourself permission to explore your home with curiosity? From a space of thinking you know, but open to being pleasantly surprised. When you gift yourself many moments on the daily, and when you can afford longer periods of time to drop down and ground into the body, play like a child on a playground. No end goal, just pure play, discovery. The freedom that comes with simply diving in with no preconceptions, or aware of your preconceptions but willing to allow them to suspend for a moment, and meet yourself where you are. Oh, the freedom that comes with it. Have you ever had the experience where really know, that taking a pause to simply move and breathe and explore would do you some good, and yet you don't? You find every excuse possible and discover that for some reason, unbeknownst to you, the idea sounds great, but the action in and of itself proves challenging. This unfolds more often than you may think for many, many people. Ever wonder why that is? Interested in inviting a shift? Turning that really knowing into concrete action in reality? So many of the challenges that each of us deals with in daily life from childhood onward, slowly over time, creates a disconnection from our homes, from our bodies. And this experience of disconnection from our bodies wreaks havoc in our lives. There is an opportunity each day to heal this misperceived separateness. To heal is to return to wholeness, not as a concept, but as an embodied experience. And in order to allow for this, you will need to learn to return, drop down, and ground into your body, feeling, sensing, navigating the inner terrain, the terrain of your home. You will develop the capacity, as you do this, to drop into the silence behind the noise and observe the noise of the mind, as well as shift your attention behind the noise. It's like learning to play the piano or any instrument. There is a tuning in and ever-deepening capacity to listen to the drumming of the inner calling deep within. When you experience wholeness, then you have come home to yourself. Not the self you have come to know yourself as, your whole being. It is not an identity. It is a felt inner experience, a deep inner knowing that resonates on a different frequency. And to tune into the frequency of your body requires slowing down, pausing, and turning inward, resting in the space of your home, a safe space, an unending source of light, warmth, ease, and wisdom. Your awareness of the mind's capacity to create knots, which leads to the experience of separation, the I have a problem here, becomes more and more refined. You see, the never-ending search outside of yourself for completion, wholeness, catapults you into survival mode. Survival mode is a primal response ingrained in your biology, triggered by perceived threats to your well-being, be they physical, emotional, or psychological. At its core, survival mode is the body's instinctual mechanism for self-preservation, priming you to react swiftly and decisively to potential danger. And sometimes survival mode is needed, but more often than not in your modern everyday life, it is not a true sense of survival like running from a tiger, but more a deep sense that something is not right. And all that you do during your life to create a rightness about you, your partner, your family, the world, etc., drives you endlessly and leaves your body as a war zone. When you are in high go mode, not getting the sleep you need, depriving yourself of physical and emotional nourishment because you're simply too busy, go, 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 all in the name of whatever that something is for you, your nervous system is stuck in sympathetic mode. And your body was not made to sustain one mode all the time. Your home is crying out, screaming at you to slow down, to create radical shifts in your lifestyle. The question is, Are you listening? Did you know that it is your perception that creates your thoughts, that then create your feelings? The link between the body and mind runs deep. They are distinct, but not separate. Dr. Jeffrey Rediger, the author of Cured, inspires each and every one of us to get underneath this layer of living for surviving and educates on just how deep the link is between the body and mind. Everything we put into our bodies, from foods and toxins to thoughts and feelings, can shift your immune system function at a base level. The foods you consume greatly impact your home, right down to your perception of yourself. He states, it's the perception that creates the thought, that creates the feeling. Further stating, illness begins in the soul, and when healing occurs there, the physical body then catches up to this new reality. One of the most overlooked aspects of overall health and well-being is the bodily discomfort that arises from living in a constant state of survival. This discomfort often leads us to disconnect from our bodies, seeking escape rather than presence. When we encounter intense emotions, such as those arising from triggers, unexpected challenges, or physical pain, it can be incredibly difficult to pause. Acknowledge the sensations within your body and simply be present with the experience. This is a skill that develops with consistent practice, support, and time. Many people instinctively react to discomfort by engaging in busy doing, a state of constant activity that diverts attention away from the present moment. This busy doing is fundamentally opposed to the practice of being with, which involves fully experiencing and accepting the present moment as is, even when it's challenging. In and of itself, doing isn't bad, but at some point, when the waters have calmed, it is essential to create that pause and be with whatever you are experiencing the best you can. Coming home to yourself. Body-mind well-being practices, like those you find in Your Reset, provide you with daily support in small, digestible steps. By incorporating these practices into your routine, you can effectively release the accumulated tensions of everyday life in the modern world and cultivate greater well-being. Daily self-reflection through questions like, how am I doing today? And what support do I need to manage my current responsibilities? Is an invaluable gift to oneself. This practice of self-awareness involves observing your inner state, being present with yourself, and honoring the space of life that you are. When we are not seen and known, by ourselves first and foremost, this creates a disconnection in body-mind. Our relationship to ourselves and the world becomes fractured. The loss of connection to ourselves, our families, and the world around us does not create a conducive environment to coming home, to landing in our bodies, and simply being and breathing with all as is. And the thing is, the loss of connection to our bodies happens slowly over time, so slowly that often we do not even notice the subtle changes that have unfolded. As the lost connection to our bodies gets internalized, it forges our view of reality, and we come to believe in the world we see, even if the lens is cracked. As Dr. Peter Levine, author of Waking the Tiger, states, It's sobering to realize that who we take ourselves to be and the ways we habitually act, including many of our seeming strengths, the least and the most functional aspect of our normal selves, are often, in part, the wages of traumatic loss. This traumatic loss creates a separation from our bodies, and our bodies are our home while we live on this planet. When you are not home, where are you? Where do you go when you feel disconnected? What do you do to fill the void? What do you do when you sense that something is missing, wrong, out of place? Each and every one of us carries our wounds in our own way, and one thing we all have in common as human beings, underneath all of the differences, is that we all have knots in our body-mind. These knots are a result of living from disconnection. And when we are living from disconnection, these knots, something is that should not be, or something is not that should be, are located in the body as a tension, a stuckness. Allowing the knots to dissolve is like cleaning house. Keeping the space clean is a glorious gift to give oneself. When the cobwebs are dusted, the windows have been opened and wiped clean, the light shines through, and there is a freshness in the air. You begin to naturally access new layers of awareness, and this results in an opening into a whole new world to navigate. Your home becomes more spacious. The body is a mystery in and unto itself. Science has made many headways into the world of the body, but there is still so much we do not know and cannot explain rationally. Any humble scientist or doctor will be open and honest about this very reality. You may be asking yourself, okay, all well and good, but where do I go from here? What are my options? Well, you will want to increase your capacity to be adaptable and flexible in both body-mind simultaneously, as the impact of life challenges are reflected in your response flexibility. Now, response flexibility is a function of the mid-frontal portion of your cerebral cortex. When an infant is born, it does not have this capacity. A baby's behavior is concerned by instinct and reflex, not conscious selection. The freedom to choose develops as the brain develops. If you pause and look around you, there are many tall babies walking this planet Earth. We don't grow and evolve. We just get taller. Being stuck in predictable, automatic defensive reactions is essentially a response to stress, stimuli. And then what happens is the past hijacks and co-ops the present again and again, and this robs us of our freedom. The ability to choose how you address life's inevitable ups and downs, disappointments, triumphs, challenges. Human freedom involves our capacity to pause between stimulus and response, and in that pause, to choose the one response to which we wish to throw our weight, as stated by Rollo May. What we have already experienced continues to show up in the present, and this is why repeating patterns continue to unfold. The past, it's known, and this creates a comfort level, if you will, a sense of control and I've got this. The present, on the other hand, clean and empty, a wide open opportunity for birthing, while the present, without the presence of the past, it's simply unknown. And when you are standing in the unknown, You know, you are in the present moment. When you have landed in your body and you are standing in the present moment, and when you are coming from your body, have landed and grounded, you will experience the undigested past. And this is where the opportunity unfolds. Giving yourself the gift of releasing your knots, coming home to your body-mind as a whole, breathing deep and allowing the curiosity to surface around the mystery within. The real voyage of discovery is mystery. The unknown and the discovery and the realization that you never really know. The answer is never the answer. What's really interesting is the mystery of what it is to be a human being, the mystery of life. T.S. Little, a renowned teacher and an artist who works with the subtle body, states, the real joy of discovery occurs in the multiple and intricate connections to be made in body-mind. Connections that ultimately provide a profound sense of wholeness and integration. When you are standing in the abyss of the unknown, the clean slate, present moment, fully grounded in your body, you have an invitation available to yourself. The invitation is a glorious one. What is your relationship to the unknown? To explore this, put the world on hold, pause and take a deep breath. Slowly begin to experience bodily sensations. Observe any thoughts, emotions, or feelings that may be filtering the experience of this very moment. What is present for you when facing the unknown? For many, it is fear. Can you acknowledge the fear? Can you identify the stuckness, the holding of where the fear is in your body? Are you aware of the thoughts associated with this fear? Will you have the courage to look the fear in the face and slowly release it? Acknowledge and release over and over again. When needed, suspending judgment. When you have released the fear and all associated with that experience and how it shows up for you, then the invitation is to live into the unknown, your body, your home, from a place of adventure filled with curiosity, humility, and a deep knowing that your body is your home and the necessity to take care of the space you live in. Pause and be with your body, your home, knowing it will be one of the greatest teachers if you let it. And if you are interested in making 2025 the year of body-mind shifts, reach out for a free consult, and we can take a look at what services I offer best to meet your personal needs. And with that, I will leave you with this quote by Rupi Kaur. I dive into the well of my body and end up in another world. Everything I need already exists in me. There's no need to look anywhere else. I do hope you found this episode supportive. Feel free to reach out, share, like, or follow. I am excited to announce coming in January of 2025 is the Reflections Club. Please join me and a vibrant community of individuals from all over the globe who are passionate about the benefits of body-mind well-being. For more details, check out my website, www.christianepiano.com, and head on over to the podcast page for information on the ins and outs and how to join. I hope to see you with us.